Thank you so much, Scent and Shout, for that heartwarming prize segment. Welcome back to AGDQ 2022 online, powered by Twitch. I've got a quick donation for you. Hold on, wait. Bleep, bleep. It's a $25 donation from Solid Snake and Otacon. Let's see here. It says, Snake, are you there? I'm here, Otacon. What is it? Snake, don't you think you should be preparing for your run at AGDQ? AGDQ? What's that? It's a great charity marathon that raises money to fight cancer by beating games as fast as possible. How do you not know it? A charity marathon, huh? Sounds like it's for a good cause. How much time do I have? Fortunately, there are still plenty of games to go through before then, like Tetris. Tetris? What else is there? Oh, there's plenty, like Zelda Link to the Past, Portal 2, and Sekiro. Sekiro? What's that? It's just like one of my Japanese animes. You play as a ninja named Wolf. A ninja named Wolf? He could be part of Foxhound. I'll have to be careful. Is there anything else? There is. If we can raise $500,000, we'll play Deltarune. Deltarune? Isn't that the hit indie game with the skeleton in the jacket? Close. That's Undertale. Anyway, my point is, you should be getting ready, because we're finishing the marathon with Metal Gear Solid. Ugh, Metal Gear. Thank you so much to Solid Snake and Otacon. We've got so many of those games coming up. In fact, esteemed chat, I need you to be ready, for we are about to be in the presence of speed running royalty. Maybe you know him from his numerous world records. Maybe you know him because you saw a Summoning Salt video and he got one of those fine dramatic entrances. This is a runner who got a Super Metroid world record while saving the animals. He is the current world record holder in this category, and he is about to show you just how quickly he can stomp Ganon into the ground. He's been at this since 2006, and according to his Twitch bio, he's a human. I guess we'll see. This is Hoda Ruby with The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past.
All right. Hello, everyone. So we've got our Link to the Past run here. Link to the Past is not a stranger to the GDQ stage, but this run is, as it's been recently rerouted, actually just about 5 or 6 months ago. Actually, Hotorubi, our runner today, he rerouted this entire category single-handedly, which is quite an amazing feat, I have to say. And so, really excited to be showing off this run. It's a lot of fun. So, I think we're all ready. So, Hotorubi, are you ready?
Hi. I'm ready.
All right, we're ready to go. So, let's get our countdown. 3, 2, 1, let's go. All right, so this category is called All Bosses, No EG. And so, of course, the first question we have is, what's EG? Well, EG is a glitch called Exploration Glitch. And so, with Exploration Glitch, you can, basically it puts Link on the incorrect layer. Uh-oh, wrong file name.
Oh yeah, we had a last minute change.
So we gotta change our name here. So just one moment.
It came out of nowhere. There was a lot of donations for Dad at one point, but your winning file name is actually Lonk, L-O-N-K.
Lonk. Very fitting name. All right. So.
Okay.
Let's do that one more time. Let's start. 3, 2, 1, go. All right, so back to the beginning. This category is called All Bosses, No EG. And so, of course, the first question is, what's EG? So, EG is a glitch known as Exploration Glitch. And with Exploration Glitch, you can essentially, it puts Link on the wrong layer. And then when Link's on the wrong layer, we can basically walk under the floor and go basically anywhere. It's insanely broken. but that's not in this category. So the way categories work usually is that we have different rule sets, and different rule sets kind of influence what glitches are allowed or disallowed. And so this is an interesting rule set that hasn't been very popular, but is kind of gaining traction. So we just said that EG is banned. So of course, the first thing we're going to do is set up EG. But it's going to be a special type of EG known as overworld EG, right? So as it turns out, some glitches are more powerful in the underworld or in a cave or dungeon than they are in the overworld. And so because of that, EG is allowed on the overworld, but not in the underworld. So to set this up, we're going to go into our room, we're going to jump off the ledge and save and quit. So when you jump from the ledge, the game says we're going to change layers when you hit the ground. But if we save and quit before we hit the ground, it kind of saves that layer transition. And so next we need to set up what's called long state. Very perfect for our name. And so with long state, the game treats you as a bunny, even though you're still the Link sprite. And so we need to do this because if you take damage, you kind of fly into the air and like land on the ground. So we got our long state, our enemy hit us, and you can see our sprite is walking not normally, but we need to take damage from this electricity. Regular Link gets electrocuted and doesn't leave the ground, but the bunny does leave the ground. So we need this long state to get bunny properties, take damage. Now we're in our overworld EG. And with overworld EG, we can't walk under the floor or anything, but we can walk through sprites. So this guard in the way, we just walk right past him. Perfect. So from here, we're going to do a series of pixel perfect movements in a sloped ledge, and we're going to do a glitch with a very fancy technical name known as the funny auto walk thing. So if you land on a screen transition like halfway and then transition while you're halfway on that transition, the game will kind of cause you to automatically walk in a funny fashion, bypassing all collision and letting you get past basically everything. So we're gonna get our movements just a little slightly. This, like I said, this is pixel perfect, so we have to move very specifically. So we're going to use our sort buffers to try and like move Link just 1 pixel at a time. It's actually really difficult, so we can also use select buffers here to kind of slowly get our 1 frame movements. And it looks like that's good. We jump through, and then the game automatically walks us through the river past here. And we like to call it the funny auto walk thing because it's an interesting thing. So next, we're going to do what's called a screen wrap. We're going to use more slopes to kind of slowly pixel perfect move in and jump past the screen transition. And when we do that, it's actually going to wrap us to the top of the screen, which is where the entrance to Eastern Palace is. So we jump up there, our camera doesn't move, and we walk into the entrance of Eastern right away. So Eastern Palace doesn't really have many glitches in it, so I want to take the time to talk about the different rule set categories. So the rule sets are basically kind of like a tier list where each one kind of builds on the last one. So like our base level is what we call NMG, or no major glitches. And if you've ever seen a speed run of this game, that's probably the speed run you've seen, where it's the most popular category, and then you have things such as glitches allowed are only minor glitches, so you have like spin speed, item dashing, fake flippers, those kind of things. The next level up is what we call RMG, or restricted major glitches. And so in restricted major glitches, it mostly affects overworld traversal. And so we have interesting glitches like screen wraps, map wraps, mirror wraps, the overworld EG, overworld YBAs, and such like that. And so everything we've done so far would be in the RMG level of glitches. The next level up is the no EG category, which is what we're in right now. And so the added things to that is would be transition corruptions and mislotting, which have some really interesting glitches like murder bomb, overworld conveyor, and of course, the major thing, hook pushing, which we're going to see all of those today. And it's actually our greater understanding of mislotting and hook pushing which allowed us to reroute this category. So, mislotting has been known since about 2019, but it's only been the past year in 2021 where we really started to push it to its limits. And then, of course, the last level up is the unrestricted level, where basically everything, you can do whatever you want. You can use EG, you have plaid world, you have arbitrary code execution. It's insanity. You can walk under the floor and beat the game in 2 minutes, which I believe we're going to see later in a different run. You can cause crystals to materialize out of thin air, and you can basically just cue the credits by executing the code. It's insanity. But we won't be seeing too much of that though. And so we're at our first boss, the Armos fight. We can kind of time the arrows so that we can kill them with only 18, and the last Armos won't get into its rage phase. So see if we get it. Everything looks smooth and straight. All right, and so we're going to switch to the lamp. This is very, very important. And so we need to talk about mislotting and how it works. It's very complicated. I'll give you the kind of condensed, simple version. So here's how it works. Essentially, whenever Link uses an item, fire rod, boomerang, arrows, bombs, there are these special sprites that we call Ancilla. And so in the game, there are slots. So whenever you use an item, they get put into a slot. There are 10 slots that we count 0 through 9. And so there are 2 types of Ancilla. There are primary Ancilla, which is our boomerang, bow, fire rod, whatever, as well as our secondary Ancilla, such as the basically sparkles. It's like whenever Link charges his sword spin, the sparkles. And so those sparkles are our secondary or particle Ancilla. And so the slots are split up into 2 sets. You have front slots and back slots. The front slots are for our primary Ancilla, the back slots are for our secondary Ancilla. And the idea of mislotting or mis-slotting is that you take one of our primary Ancillas and force it into the back slot where it's not supposed to be. And this causes the game to load data incorrectly or load data from the wrong place, which causes a lot of crazy effects, which we're going to abuse gratuitously today. And so we need to climb up to Death Mountain. We're going to be doing that by doing another clipping through slope walls. Slope walls are very flimsy, unfortunately. So we're going to do another screen wrap. We wrap to the top, we're going to jump in, and then we can get into our the Old Man Cave, where we can save the Old Man. So, I said switching to the lamp was very important. That's because there's this special number called the search index, where it's not on the HUD, unfortunately, but there's a special number in the game called the search index, and this tells the game what slot to put an item. And we can manipulate that number with the lamp. And so basically, we're going to see like a lamp a few times, and it'll set our index really high, and then that'll let the game know, hey, we should put this item into a high slot. And so that's the super general way of mislotting. So now that we've explained all that, we're going to do our first mislot. We're going to do what's called overworld conveyor. So we're going to put a bomb into slot 9, and then we're going to take damage from a regular bomb. So if you're carrying a slot 9 bomb and get hit by a regular slotted bomb, it's going to actually cause the game to put you in this overworld conveyor state. And so I'm going to pick up an extra bomb here, but with this overworld conveyor state, we can also use that to clip through slopes. So we actually took a death there. That's kind of a save point just in case things go wrong. This glitch is very, very precise. And so by using this clipping state, we're going to, let's see, we get our slot 9 bomb, we got a regular bomb, we take the damage, so we've got our overworld conveyor, and we need to be on a very specific pixel. So we're going to use select buffers to go through, and we've got it. And next, we're in Lost Woods, just as you remember it as a child, I'm sure. And so, while we're in this overworld conveyor state, we're moving at 1 pixel every 2 frames, and we need to land on a very specific pixel. So we're going to use the arrows to tell when 1 frame advances, when we select buffer, and move onto this pixel and do our spin attack. And this will cause us to fall into the hole. I think we just need 1 more pixel. And this is very precise, and if we're too early or too late, it can ruin everything. But we got it on the right pixel, and so we're going through, we're in this clipping state still, and so it actually puts us in Misery Mire. So, in the game, all the dungeons, all the caves are all connected in one giant map. We call this the EG map, as it was originally mapped out in EG. And so in normal gameplay, you can't really see that the dungeons are connected because there aren't doors leading there. But when you can glitch past walls and other things, you can see how they're all connected. And so, as we like to say, walls are just a suggestion. And so, if you notice by the walls, the game still thinks we're in a cave, which we call this cave state. And one interesting side effect of cave state is we have unlimited keys, or small keys at least. It's a bit more complicated than that, but we don't have time to explain because we just got the Cane of Samaria. The Cane of Samaria is probably the most broken item in the game, and we're about to go use it to break the game. So we're going to do what's called a Samaria Transition Corruption, or STC for short. So if you take a Samaria block and put it in a door right next to the transition and then push it into the transition, the game will actually load the data of the room next to it and transfer it into the room you're in. So we're going to do that 7 times. So you're going to see the screen blink, and that'll be when we get a STC. So we're going to do that 7 times. And when we do that 7 times, it's actually going to load a room in Swamp Palace. And so we're going to use another sloped wall to kind of clip down and transition, putting us into Swamp Palace. And because we got that big key earlier, we can actually use that big key to open the chest here to get our hook shot. So now, because of that STC, it actually kind of broke our north and south transitions. So when we transition through this door here, it's actually going to put us a little bit farther than normal, which puts us in the Tower of Hera. So we just need to hook shot across this hole, pick up our Moon Pearl, and now we're all finished. Save and quit. So we just picked up a lot of items, but we still have this rain going on, and that's not good. Certain events won't trigger, certain items won't spawn when it's in rain state, so we need to get rid of this. And in every other run, we do this by rescuing Zelda. But it turns out that you can end this state by defeating Aghanim 1 as well. So we're actually not going to rescue Zelda. We're not going to see her at all this run. We're always so focused on the save the animals incentive. I think we missed the save the princess incentive. So we're going to do what's called a door juke. If you're holding an item when you're in a door and then move in or out of the door, it will actually instantly move you several pixels. And we call this a snap. And so if we snap multiple times, we can actually snap past the door transition and then hit it from the opposite side. So we snap past our door and then we go through, and that actually leads us left into the top of Aghanim's tower. This is actually the room where you see Zelda get teleported away. It's just a little glitched out though. And so we can kind of clip over, and now we're in the Aghanim 1 fight. We need to wrap around the screen to get us back synced with our sprites. And there. So the Aghanim fight, is a little different here. We're going to do our Samaria refill glitch. After you defeat Aghanim, you know, your magic and your hearts get refilled. But that takes time. So, for a very simple way to explain it, if you just spam the Samaria block at a certain tempo, you can cause the game to refill your magic. And because we're in this kind of clipped state, we can actually despawn the lightning, which will save lag by just kind of walking out of, again, a sloped wall. Sloped walls are very flimsy. But other than that, this fight is actually very the same as our regular fight. We've got our magic high. We used our lamp to set our search index high. So now we just kind of need to hit our energy balls back at Aghanim. And there, we've got our 6 hits, and Aghanim is all done. We can even clip out to cause the Aghanim death sequence to go a little faster. So, next, we're going to do our first hook push. In fact, we're going to do a lot of hook pushes really quick. So, there are 2 types of hook pushes. There is a hookshot mislotted hook push and a Samaria mislotted hook push. And we're going to do both. So, the way some hookshot mislotted hook push work is we're going to put a hookshot into the back slot, and then we're going to put a regular hook in the front slot. The back slotted hookshot will cause the front hook slot or hookshot to essentially pause, and while the glitched one pulls us forward, then we'll shoot a third hookshot, basically continuing where the second one went, kind of pushing us further than it normally would. And so we're going to need to use a Samaria block to get our hookshot mislotted. I think that enemy might be in the way. Yeah, we need to do that one more time. There we go. I think that's it. Uh-oh. So we need to set our index high again with the lamp, maybe. All right, let's see. There it is. We got 1, 2, push through, push past the screen transition, jump into the water, and transition, giving us the fake flipper. You're not normally in this river, so we can use it to kind of push us out. And now we're going to do one more. So we need to, we're doing the backup strat. This one's a lot better and faster. So we're going to hook shot in a very specific pixel. We can through it, and then we can actually kind of clip through this rail here. And so from there, we're going to, after we clip through, we're going to do a Samaria-based mislot. We put a Samaria block in slot 9, and then we can kind of set our data so that we can hook push across. We will hook push past these heavy blocks you normally need the Titan mitts so that we can immediately talk to the frog and then go get our tempered sword. Whew, that's a lot of talking. Okay, so about how Samaria hook pushes work. If you put a Samaria block into slot 9, the game reads data incorrectly. So normally with the hook shot, when you hook shot, it kind of reads your direction and how far you're going to go. So if you hook shot to the left, it says, hey, you're facing left, we'll pull you left, and you'll stop at this point. But when you have a Samaria block in slot 9, the game will actually first read data from slot 4, in the next frame, slot 3, next frame, slot 2, and slot 1, and slot 0, and then continue to read information from slot 0. So essentially, we just need to put new data in slot 0, and then force the game to read that data. And that's how these hook pushes work. And so by doing that, we can basically cause, or the easiest way we do that is by putting a sword beam into slot 0. And so we're about to go see that. We're going to, go buy some bombs. We need some bombs. And as it turns out, I guess we're not using sword beams anymore because we got hit. But there are other ways to do it. So we buy an item, and then that causes the hook shot to freeze, and then we can kind of do a backup strat to just push through this wall. It turns out there's a back room in this store that actually leads to the ice rod cave. It's just storing it in the back of the shop there. So that saves us the need of going all the way to the corner of the map to get our ice rod. All right, so from here, we're going into Thieves Town, our first dungeon we're actually going to complete. So we're going to do some more hook pushes. So we set our index high with our lamp there. And so we're going to do another hook shot mislot. It's going to be 3 hooks, right? The back slot hook, regular hook, continue to hook. So it's going to be a quick 1, 2, 3. All right, so Here it goes. Let me switch over.
Please.
And there he goes.
Oh.
Well, we kind of missed it there, so we need to set up our index again, I think. This is very tight timing for these, so... One difficult thing about this is that our magic is really important. All right, there we go. 1, 2, 3. We pass through the wall and we've got it. But a lot of these hook pushes are very, very precise. So they're difficult to set up and it's very easy to mess them up. So we're doing good though. So we just need to go through, we need to bomb the attic, and so that we can fight blind. And so I'm sure you've noticed, but we don't actually have the big key. And to get the maiden from the prison, we actually need normally need that. But we can actually just hook push through the wall to get to the maiden and then hook push out. So we're going to do another series of hook pushes very shortly. And it's actually kind of like just looking at this run versus the old route, the number of hook pushes has greatly increased, where the old route had maybe 6 or 7 hook pushes, where this route has well over 20. So we're going to be hook pushing a lot. So as I said before though, we need to put sword beams in slot 0. So there are oftentimes, even with just the smallest mistake, you might have to go and farm up some hearts. So we're going to have our push, we get our block in slot 9, then we're going to put our beam in slot 0, then we're going to kind of go over here, the hook push across, right into it, right to where the maiden is. Then we need to put another beam in slot 0 facing left so that we can hook push out of our dungeon. And there we are. Smooth prison break, quick and easy. All right, so next we're going to go fight blind. Blind is a scripted fight, as we always like to say. If you do the same thing, you get the same result every time. And so blind takes 9 hits to get through, no matter what weapon you're using, whether it's fighter sword or gold sword, whether you're using hammer or Samaria, anything that hits blind, it just takes 9 hits. So we're in our 3rd phase here, just about to go through. And there it is. Whew. All right, so we have our first crystal. So I think we have some time for some donations here if we happen to have them.
Absolutely, and you should take a drink of water. You've been doing a great job. We've got a $10,000 donation from the Yeti, who says, "Hey all, Yeti here. Thank you for all your amazing support, not only during this event, but over the last 10 years in our partnership with GDQ. We're happy to share a major milestone. We have officially contributed over $2 million to GDQ charities. We couldn't have done it without your help. A reminder to make sure you get your official GDQ items before Sunday at midnight. All profits will be donated directly to the Prevent Cancer Foundation." Hype! Do you have time for one more?
One quick one.
Well, it's a big one. We got another $10,000 donation from Fangamer, who says, "Hey everybody, Fangamer here. Listen, I am communicating to you across the void through telepathy. It's dangerous to go alone. Take this $10,000 donation. This was made possible by everyone who has shopped the Fangamer AGDQ 2022 collection. Every rupee spent makes a difference because it's not a secret to anybody that 100% of the profits from sales of GDQ merch gets turned into donations that benefits the Prevent Cancer Foundation. But hurry, today's sunrise was the dawn of the final day. You only have until the end of the event to visit fangamer.com/GDQ.
All right, so back to the run. So we did an STC, which loaded the data above, moving the big chest from the middle room with the mummies into this room here. And so we were able to get the big key a lot quicker. So we're going to set up a hook push here. Normally you would just bomb jump to get across here, but as I mentioned before, we need sword beams, we don't want to take damage. And so we're going to hook push to get our fire rod. Now we're actually going to do a very long hook push over to the right. And so the room to the right is actually the back of Skullwoods. And so this way, we don't have to go through the overworld and burn the thing to get into the back. Just hook push over there. It's a lot faster. Right, so here, next, we're going to do a East STC. So East STC going right. And so, one important thing is that when you go into a dungeon, the game always thinks you're in that dungeon. So, we're in Skullwoods, but... Oh yeah, by the way, the graphics are bad now. Sometimes that's a side effect of STCs, that it can cause the graphics to go really bad. And so, we set up our STC to load the data of our transition to the next room. So we're going to set up a hook push. So we get our slot 9 block, and then we put our beam in slot 0, we set our data, and we're just gonna hook push through, and now we're in Palace of Darkness. So, next, we're going to be fighting Helmasaur. We're going to do what's called a murder bomb. If we put a bomb into slot 9, we can actually affect when it explodes and for how long by putting a sword beam into slot 4. So we put our bomb there, and now it's exploding, and we're using our sword beams. They're just exploding indefinitely. And so from here, we can break the mask with just one bomb instead of having to use like 5 or 6, and then just do a few hits to kill Helmasaur. Although that bomb's in the way, we can't get to him now. There we go. All right. So, because the game thinks we're in Skullwoods, we are actually getting the Skullwoods crystal, not the Palace of Darkness crystal. But we got another crystal, which I think means we have more time for donations.
Great, we've got a lot of donations coming in. We've got $50 from Jarbochov. It's dangerous to go alone. Take this. Actually, you know what? Take a T-spin instead. Let's go Tetris. Y'all, we are $26,000 into the $75,000 we need to meet max speed Tetris the Grandmaster. You want to see the Tetrominos go fast. I know you do. So please get those donations in to meet that incentive. We've also got $50 from Royal Blue Wizard. Given that Hodarubi is a living legend of speedrunning, I felt that I had to donate during this run. Please keep continuing to amaze us and set records and goals for others to reach, Hodarubi.
All right, so we just beat Helmasaur in Skullwoods, so now we're going to do the exact opposite. We're going to go beat Mothula in Pod. So we're going to do another hook push. The game thinks we're in Pod now, and so we're going to hook push back over to Skullwoods. And so from here, we just need to do another hook push to send us north. We need to kill these mummies, and hopefully they drop us some magic. That would be nice, though not necessary. So we set up our slot 9 block, beam in slot 0, set our data, and then we hook push across. And then from here, we actually want to take damage from this spike just so we don't have sword beams for this fight. Sword beams kind of mess up this fight quite a bit, so. And one interesting and annoying thing about this fight is that if you knock Mothula into the spikes, Mothula does not take damage. So you have to make sure he doesn't take damage or recoil back into the spikes. Anyways though, hey look, we have another crystal, which I think means more donations.
Got you covered. We've got $50 from Navi Says Listen. Hey, listen. Here's 50 rupees to the Prevent Ganon Foundation. Every rupee counts. And we've got $50 from Too Wicked. The games go quick, so it only makes sense that the Tetris pieces go quick too, right? $25 from King TDN. Let's smash cancer like Hodarubi will smash Ganon. And $50 from Elegant Fugue. I am excited to see how the legendary Hodarubi breaks this legendary game apart. Well, they've been breaking it apart pretty massively right now, so I hope you're liking what you're seeing. And we've got $1,000 from Sorlock. Have to donate again before all the games are done. Let's have an amazing final day of games and donations.
All right, so we're back into the run. So next we're going to Ice Palace. And so we're going to do a series of screen wraps and then a mirror wrap to get there. So first we need to do 3 screen wraps. So we used a hook shot so we can clip through, of course, a sloped wall. So we clip once, we clip twice, and then we clip 3 times. So 3 times through. And then we need to get on a very specific pixel. So a mirror wrap works by if you use the mirror and transition at exactly the same frame, then it kind of triggers this kind of mosaic thing. And then when we move across, it'll be similar to a funny auto walk thing where it kind of pushes us past all collision, but you get this kind of crazy effect as well. So we're going to do a bomb clip. We're going to put a bomb here and dash into it to get us recoiled past, of course, another sloped wall. And then, if you're familiar with the Link to the Past randomizer, you're going to see a glitch you are familiar with, which we call the icebreaker. So by using the if you're in a door, you're kind of in what's called door state. And so we can use this door state to kind of, in conjunction with a Samaria block, to essentially force Link past this wall. So we just kind of quickly clip through. And next, we're going to do one of my favorite hook pushes here. So with bow and arrows, actually, bows kind of affect direction a little bit differently. So we're going to put a bow into slot 0 and then use a sword spin.
Oh my god.
Unfortunately, that's an extremely specific trick where you have to time it very well to get that slot 9 block to form. Not a big deal though. We can just kind of go and like drop down to get a fairy, but I really hope we could have got that. We actually would go diagonal to downright, skipping about like 4 or 5 rooms, which is really cool to do. But as I said, very, 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 very difficult. But from here, as I said, we need full health, right? So that's the most important thing. So we're gonna go to this fairy room, get some health, and then we're gonna go to cold stare, right? So normally you need the hammer and the gloves to get to cold stare, to hammer the little moles and pick up the rock to fall in. But of course, we don't have hammer, we don't have gloves. So I wonder if there's something we could do to get us past walls. Yeah, of course, we're going to hook push, right? And so this hook push is actually a very interesting one where we're going to stop our hook push halfway and then do a second hook push. So we need to clear out these enemies here and make sure not to take damage, as they can kind of suddenly electrocute. So we're going to create our... There we go. They can go into the walls and they're so difficult to take care of. So slot 9 block, and then beam in slot 0. And then we're going to put a Samaria block there so we can use it to stop our hook push midway through. And then we're going to use that Samaria block again to set up another hook push. So we're going to, again, put a sword beam in slot 0, set our data, and then we hook push past. So, as it turns out, if you shoot a sword beam right after hitting the ice with a fire rod shot, the game counts it as a fire rod hit. And so we actually don't need full magic to defeat this boss and fight and like clear the ice. So, of course, we've got another boss, we've got another crystal, which I think means we have another donation moment. So, let's hear it.
Thank you so much. We've got $25 from Sonic Buster. Shout out to vZakat for his epic vocal speedrun of A Link to the Past. It's quite an impressive feat. Please stay hydrated and honor our chat. We've got $25 from Kerplop. There once was an elf named Link, whose hair could sometimes be pink. He knew about a glitch as he watched on Twitch. His adventure was done in a blink. And we've got $10 from Lonk's uncle. Lonk, it's not dangerous to go alone. It's dangerous to leave me alone in this castle dungeon. Come back. Here's some rupees. $25 from Lethal Geek. Walls? Where we're going, we won't need walls.
All right, fantastic. And so we want to go back to the light world and save and quit so we can choose where we want to go. We're actually going to be going to Hyrule Castle. Not to save Zelda though, sorry. So, as the game counts, as we talked about, when you're in a dungeon, the game considers you in that dungeon, and you get that dungeon prize, like we got the Skullwoods Crystal despite killing the pod boss. So, what happens if you kill a boss when you're in Hyrule Castle? Because Hyrule Castle doesn't normally have a boss. Well, it turns out the boss ends up dropping the Ether Medallion. That's it. Uh-oh. We kind of messed up our hook push there. So, as it turns out with our slot 9 blocks, they're very finicky and can despawn very easily. And so, it depends on what items you put what slots. So it's really easy to mess these up. But we got our hook push. We're going to do a very complicated hook push. So, if you put 2 hook shots in the back slot at once, you essentially store a hook push. So, we're going to store a hook push, and then we're going to put a slot 9 block to manipulate our stored hook push. So we're going to do slot 9 block, 2 hook shots in the back slot, manipulate our data by putting things in slot 0, and then kind of unleash our stored hook push. It's really complicated. So let's see if we can get it. So first we're going to use a bomb to kind of help manipulate our slots. And so we're going to do slot 9 block, and then we switch to hook shot, 2 hook shots in the back slot. Then we're going to do Samaria block and set our data. And then we're going to unleash our new hook push, pushing all the way over to Land Molas. All right, so next we need to defeat Land Molas. Just do some sword spins. We don't want to use up our magic because we're not going to get a magic refill from here. And we need magic for our next miss lot. So we use the lamp to set our index high once again, and we need to save and quit. And so next, we're going up to the Tower of Hera. So, again, if you're familiar with the Link to the Past randomizer, you're going to see a glitch you're familiar with called the Hera pot. So by using spin speed or hook speed, we can actually clip into this pot that's here on the first floor. Normally you have to climb to the top of the tower and then fall in a hole to fall in there, but we can just clip into that with our spin speed and then hook shot into the pot. There we are. And then it directly leads us to the top. So we're going to do another glitch called the fanfare skip. So with pendants, you can actually skip the fanfare with a miss slot. If the pendant and a Samaria block are 8 slots apart, then the game just immediately refills your everything and then clips out. So we're gonna defeat Moldorm here. No shenanigans from him. So we're gonna do a sword spin when we collect the heart to force the pendant to fall into slot 1, and then we're going to collect the pendant while putting a slot 9 block. We immediately fill up our things and we go. No time to listen to fancy music. We have bosses to kill. So next we're going to Turtle Rock. We're going to do a kind of older glitch that we call the TR climb. So we can kind of clip into this sloped wall, and then at a certain point, if we move, it'll teleport us down several pixels instantly. Then we can kind of wiggle our way to move up. And then from here, we're going to do another mirror wrap. So by mirroring over, at the same time we transition, we get this funky kind of screen thing, and we can jump down. And the door we jump into is actually the back of Turtle Rock on Laser Bridge, skipping like 90% of this dungeon. So from here, we just need to skip these lasers with some precise movement, and we also set our index at the same time with our lamp. Right? We don't have the big key, so once again, I wonder if there's some technique we could use to get by without our big key. Yeah, of course, we're going to hook push. So, we're going to set up another hook push here. So we're going to create our slot 9 block, create a platform, set our beam in slot 0, and then set our data, pick up our slot 9 block to go with us, and then we're just going to hook push across past that locked door. We don't care about that. And so we're going to do our backdoor strats. Going from the back, we can get more hits on Trinex on the different heads, kind of guaranteeing that we get a 1 cycle. Whereas when we attack from the front, sometimes the way he moves can cause you to get a 2 cycle. But we got that very, very clean. And so we just need a spin attack to do 2 hits, We were a little early there, but that's okay. 3 hits. We switch to our lamp, we're gonna collect the heart, set our index. This is a very quick run, if you haven't noticed. The front is a little slow, but once you get the items, it becomes very fast. And so, we have another crystal, which I think means another donation. Let's hear it.
Excellent. We've got $33.33 from Alex Fulcrum, who says, donation train to Tetris Town, baby. Thank you so much. We are at $30,000 out of the $75,000 we need to meet Tetris max speed. So please keep getting those donations in. We've got $25 from Fun Dad. Can't believe I'm watching a Hotarubi run on GDQ in 2022. Such a blessed day this is. Ganbaru, Hotarubi-sama. And we've got $5 from Princess Zelda. Anybody see a guy with a sword? I've been in this cell for a while. And we've got $10 from Ms. Maggie. This run is bananas. So informative and mind-boggling. Keep it up.
All right, so onward to more glitches. So we're going to do what's called a quadrant glitch. So if you do a spin attack on a certain pixel when you're in a big room, you will actually cause the game to think you're in a different room than normally. So we have to do a very precisely timed spin attack. We're going to use our select buffers to make sure we can get on the exact pixel. And then there we are. Then we need to do, I think, 2 north STCs here, which will actually cause this hole here, instead of just causing us to damage us, will actually be a room that causes us to fall somewhere. And so it's actually, we're going to fall and do a wrong warp, which leads us right to the Aghanim 2 fight. All right, look at that. We don't need to climb all of GT. It's really difficult to do that, so let's just skip that. So we just need to do our fight here. We have 3 Aghanims this time. It takes 6 hits, just like with the regular one, but we have more balls now to reflect. And then, hopefully, if we can, there's a clip we like to do called the clip, as we've called it. If we do some pixel perfect movements, you can actually clip out of the arena and we didn't quite get it, but you can actually cause the bat sequence to go quicker. The game calls the flute when the bat goes off screen. So if you clip out and you get off the bat off screen, it just goes faster. So it's a good way to save time, but it's really finicky to do and you don't have a lot of time to do it. But now that Aghanims 2 is dead, we only have a few more dungeons to do. Next, we're heading towards Misery Mire. So we need to get past this river again. We're going to be doing another hook push to just push across this. I like to call it the moat push. It's really fun. One of my favorite hook pushes, despite it being just a simple regular hook push. So we're just going to push through, past the water, and there we are. No need to run around the bridge or anything. Next, we're going to be doing a clip through another slope wall to get us directly to the Misery Mire arena. So, it's going to get a little funky, so be careful, but when you do a regular overworld transition to get to Misery Mire, the game doesn't have enough time to load the rain that's around Misery Mire. So you're going to get this crazy glitchy effect here, because the game just kind of grabs as much as it's... Whoa. We kind of jump there at kind of the wrong pixel, so we just need to save and quit. It'll put us back on the pyramid, so we can do that one more time. All right, we get another river push. I'm happy about that. So, once again, we're going to come down here. We're going to kill these enemies in the way. We do need health, because, of course, sword beams for hook pushes. So, if you like this hook push so much, let's do it one more time. Slot 9 block, beam in slot 0, set our data, and away we go. All right. So, we're going to do our teleport again. So, with, at this point, this is actually one of the points in the run that didn't change from the old route. Like, the first half of the route was really what changed, like getting Samaria early and the hook shot. And so it's really interesting to see how a lot of things changed, but a lot of things didn't. So this crazy glitchy effect will go away once we use our medallion here. So don't worry too much about the glitching things. I'm sure you're used to it by this point. So we were here in Misery Mire earlier, and we grabbed the big key, but the game thought we were in a cave. And so that big key no longer exists. Even if we were to go to the chest, it's open, there's no big key there, and the game doesn't think we have the Misery Mire big key. So, of course, our solution to that is hook pushing, right? Hook pushing solves all problems. If you have a problem, you can just hook push it somewhere else. So, we're going to go to one of our favorite rooms in the glitched community, as it was never seen in any other category, the Fishbone Room. There's a room kind of in the back of the dungeon that kind of looks like a fish. And then there's walls or barriers that kind of look like bones. So we have our Fishbone Room. And so from there, we can do a hook push north that'll actually get us past all of the dark rooms, which is really nifty. So we're low on magic. We need magic. Again, just spam Samaria. Very easy. You can do it at home. Just make sure you're in a big room. So here we are, the Fishbone Room. We're going to pick up some magic. Standard hook push. We need to create a block in slot 9. Make sure we don't take damage from a million things flying around on screen. There we go. That looks like our slot 9 block. We set our beam in slot 0, and then we're going to hook push across, and away we go. And then there's one more big key door leading to Mitchriz that we need to get past, which means one more hook push. And we set our things very quickly, very easily, and then we push through. There we are. So with the Mitchriz fight, the eyeballs, our little eyeballs, do 4 hearts of damage, which is really painful. But the slime only does 1 heart of damage. And so we damage boost by taking damage from the slime, and then so we can get our spin attacks deeper in, doing a lot of damage. So we got through all of that, and we got our crystal. So I think we can do a few more donations here.
Absolutely. We've got $500 from Philosophy, who says, I thought I knew how this Link to the Past run was going to go, but this new tech is blowing my mind. Amazing run. We've got $250 from Ward. I was going to donate $5, but there was an ancilla glitch next to the hook shot, and my wallet did a thing. It's all really complicated, but in order to get my wallet back, I had to pay $250. And we've got $25 from Brandy. Let's hook push cancer out of here. And a $1,000 anonymous donation who says, let's see 20G mode. We are at 33,000 out of the 75,000 needed to get there. Chat, I know you can do it.
All right, let's keep those donations coming in. So we're almost done with all of our dungeons, but we have a few more bosses to beat. So we're going to do a really interesting glitch called the Death Hole. So in the Japanese 1.0 version of the game, if you fall into a hole, enemies can still do damage to you and still hit you. So if you happen to die, the same moment you're going to transition from a hole, the game will actually load the data of the room below you. One random thing about STCs is that they sometimes create random holes. So there's actually a hole in front of us. We're going to fall in, and we don't actually die. We get this fairy revival thing. That's because the game puts 2 game states together, which happens to be the game state of a fairy revival, so we don't actually die. And so our transition, the room below of that random hole was in Swamp Palace. And so when we loaded the data in transition, it led us straight to Argus. So from here, we just need to do some hits. And the game still thinks we're in Desert Palace, which has a pendant, which means we can fanfare skip. Spin for pendant in slot 0 or slot 1, Samaria block in slot 9, pendant, we're done. So, we still need to swamp crystal though. And so, it happens that the Mothula arena is right next to this room in the beginning. And so, we are going to push there. And the game's going to think, hey, you're in Swamp Palace, and the boss of this room is dead, so you deserve a crystal. And there it is. So, let's hear some donations.
Yes, more crystals, please. We've got $125 from Alvis. I don't think this Lonk guy understands how to use his hookshot right. We've got $250 from Journeyman. It's dangerous to go alone. Take this. Thank you. We've got $25 from Mello. This is an appreciation donation for everyone's favorite Twitch chatter, I Only Save Ohio. Well, thank you, I Only Save Ohio. We appreciate you. And we've got $25 from Aede. Link to the Past is the first game I ever speedran, so I had to donate for this run. Good luck to Hoda Ruby and the rest of the runs. Let's get that $3 million. Y'all, we just passed $2.25 million. Let's get there, y'all. We've also got $500 from Nat Tiger. I wish GDQ would never end, and there's a way to make it last just a little bit longer. Let's unlock that final bonus game and see a speedrun of Deltarune.
All right, so I believe we've defeated all of our bosses. We've collected all of our pendants and crystals, which means the only thing left to do is to defeat Ganon. So, Ganon has 4 phases. The first phase is the Trident phase. He throws his Trident here. We just need 12 hits to get him to the next phase. Tempered Sword hits do 1. Spins do 2 hits. So we're in phase 2 now.
Wow.
Oh, Ganon is he's a beefy boy. He does lots of damage. 8 hearts when you're on green mail. And since we save and quit here, we come in with 8 hearts. So just stepping just a little bit too far can mean certain death. Ganon is very friendly and likes to give hugs, but he's unaware of his strength and just gives you a big old bear hug that sometimes hurts. So, again, phase 2, we need 12 hits with dashes and spins. We can get through that very quickly. And so, we need to dodge our fire bats here. Fire bats do 4 hearts of damage, so we can take 1 hit. All right, phase 3, the warp phase. There's a 50% chance for him to warp where you can't hit him, and a 50% chance of him to stomp where we can hit him. And so it's complete RNG. Many runners have seen many PBs die to him deciding to warp a lot. So this is kind of the least popular phase of the fight for a lot of people. And so we don't have the silver arrows. As it turns out, we don't need them. If you do a spin attack right before he warps, you can actually get a hit on him. And so we need 12 spin attack hits to defeat him. And so we're just gonna slowly do that. Also, you'll notice that the right lamp isn't going out. We did a glitch called the torch glitch. So in this fight, like the left lamp goes out and then the right lamp goes out. But if you relight the left lamp before the right one goes out, then the right one never goes out. And it makes this fight a lot easier because you only have to worry about lighting 1 torch. So we're getting our spin attacks. You think we only need, and there it is. That's the last one, and Ganon is defeated. And so time is going to be after we walk across the door and it starts to mosaic. That will be our time. But we got through all. We hook pushed our way to victory. It was a fun time. And time. All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed this. I'm really excited and happy that we were able to show off this run. Hotorubi did a lot of work rerouting this and all, holding the world record, smashing the old record by like over 6 minutes with this reroute. So I'm so happy that he was able to show this off and everything. So, and yeah, but we're not quite done with our Link to the Past adventure. We met our incentive. We're going to see what we can do if we do have EG, right? So we did so much with no EG. What happens if we have EG? So, let's see. Hotorubi, can we reset and get ready for the any percent? There we are.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Okay, we're ready. One more time. 3, 2, 1,
Wow.
go. All right. So this run's going to look a little bit similar at the beginning. We're going to be going and jump saving, quitting, setting up our EG just like we did last time. But we don't need the long state. So as I explained before, you jump, save, and quit, and the game thinks, next time you hit the ground, we're going to change your layer. So this time, we're just going to take regular damage from guard, and that will hit us up, we'll land, and then it will switch our layer. And then we'll see what we can do in EG. But of course, we need to go and talk to our uncle again, say our hellos. He always gets lonely down here. It's a little cold. We'll bring a blanket. And so, this is the any percent run, so we aren't going to see any bosses actually, right? With any percent, our goal is to get to the Triforce as fast as possible. We don't need to worry about our bosses. We don't need to worry about our crystals and pendants. So, I wonder how fast we can do that. So, we come up, jump, save, and quit. The game thinks, hey, when you land, layers change. So, off we go. This is actually one of the easiest categories to run. You can do this at home by yourself. It's actually really easy, especially this method. There is the optimal route that's really difficult, that requires a lot of pixel-perfect movements, but this route is easy. I believe it works on every Super Nintendo version. I don't know about the GBA version, but we got our save, jump, save, and quit. We take damage, and now we're in EG. We're under the floor. So, we're walking, we're going up, we see our guards there. Oh, there's a little link head poking out. We're gonna keep going north. We need to walk around.
Yes, over.
All right, one more room. And then we'll reach the Ganon room. So we walk up. Just a little bit more walking. We're going slow and easy, right? Oh, hey, listen to that music. Is there a boss here? Oh, hey, look, it's Ganon. He's just having fun, but we don't care about his fun. We're at the Triforce. Yay, we made it. Quick and easy. And that's our time once again.
We did it.
We did it. Right. So yeah, you can try it at home. Just be a little careful. Do your jump, save, and quits. Land on the floor, and you might be in EG too. So, thank you everyone for watching the Link to the Past run. I'm glad we were able to do it.
Thank you very much.
Y'all, I don't know what just happened. I think my brain has merged with whatever we just saw. I can see code. I can see what's behind the code. I'm being pushed by a hook. It's very strange. I can't explain it. Give him a round of applause. That was incredible. We've got some more donations for you here. We've got $28 from Armadillo64. There once was a boy named Lonk. On walls his head would bonk. It's linked to the past. You gotta go fast. Get hearts so he can be strong. And we've got $50 from Michael. Hook pushing our way to 20G. Thank you so much, Michael. Speaking of the 20G, Tetris the Grandmaster, max speed incentive. We are at $35,000 out of $75,000. We're just about halfway there. We're just about halfway there. We need you, chat. We need you to help push us the rest of the way, because I want to see people go fast. That's what this is about, right? We want to go fast. So let's get there. I know you can do it. You know you can do it. I believe in you. We've got $25 from Lonk's Drill Sergeant. Are you kidding me, Lonk? You didn't save Zelda? Get down and give me 20 hook pushes. Thank you, Lonk's Drill Sergeant. Y'all, sit tight. We are going nowhere, but you are about to see an interview with Jay Hobbs interviewing our Sekiro runner, Mitchriz.
Thank you so much, Cartridge Blowers, and welcome everybody to what I think was maybe one of my interviews I'm most excited for this whole week, because I'm Jay Hobbs and I'm joined by Mitchriz, who is going to be running Sekiro blindfolded a little bit later on. Mitch, how are you doing? How are you feeling?
I'm a little nervous. It's a hard run for sure. Lots of things that can go wrong, but I'm excited. I've practiced a lot, and I think it's going to go well.
Yeah, so I guess that's my first question really is, what possesses somebody to want to do this in a game that is so notoriously difficult? Seriously, why did you decide to start doing this?
Pretty much it came down to, I don't know, once you've speed ran the same game for a long time, you want to look for other challenges, you want to look for other categories, and I wanted to do something that nobody had done before, right? Hitless, psh, someone's done that. No attack power upgrades with the demon bell and the no charm to make it harder. Somebody's done that, right? So I said, okay, what has nobody done? What do people think is impossible? There, it got to me, blindfolded. I was like, I know this can be done. The bosses have been done blindfolded. I just got to put in that movement, make it all happen. So I pretty much, I just wanted to find a new challenge to push myself forward with the game.
Well, that's incredible. Now, you just mentioned there the bosses were kind of done blindfolded before the actual, an entire run together and stringing all the movement. Tell me what kind of the day one learning was like when you were trying to route this out and figure out, how am I going to do this thing without being able to see my screen at all?
Yeah, so it's pretty much just trial and error over and over and over again for hours on end to get like 10 seconds of movement. So it's a very slow process of just, okay, what if I do one dash and then I turn? No, that's not far enough. What if I do two dashes? That's too far. What if I try to, do a dash and a slash? Or what if I try to turn first and then? And so it really is just a painful process of try everything till something works, then do it 20 more times to make sure it'll work every time that you do it.
Right. And I have to imagine a lot of that is even being done, like not blindfolded, right? Like it seems counterintuitive, but obviously when you're making up these strategies initially, you're looking at the screen and making sure it's all going to work right. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. You only put the blindfold on once you have a strategy that you are like, I'm pretty sure this one works. Now I'm going to check it with the blindfold. But yeah, most of the routing is just sighted, so you can see what's going on and you can come up with new ideas for what can I try.
Mm-hmm. Now, you were kind of, as you were describing the movement there, you were counting things in number of dashes, in number of slashes, and things like that. 3D games aren't very often done blindfolded because the camera is involved, and it's hard to kind of move around these big open three-dimensional environments. Can you tell me a little bit about why you're counting things in dashes and maybe what normalized movement might mean in the context of a blindfolded run?
Yeah, so normalized movement is any movement where if I do the same things, I will always get the same result. Now, you might think, well, you should always get the same result if you do the same thing. But some example of non-normalized movement would be something like trying to count in your head, because I'm not a metronome, I'm not a timer, I can't stop on an exact millisecond. But something like a dash is always going to go the same distance. So if I count out 5 dashes, that's exactly a certain distance. Whereas if I walked forward for 5 seconds, that could be plus or minus a couple feet.
Mm-hmm. Not to mention your angle might be off slightly on the analog stick. So I imagine you're really not going to be doing that very much unless you know that you're pushing yourself up against a wall or something similar.
Yeah, absolutely. And I actually use keyboard and mouse for it specifically so that I can avoid having any difference in angle. There
Makes
is
sense.
a runner that has done it on controller, and he actually modified the controller to have paddles on the back to go exactly forward, exactly left, right, and
Oh.
backwards.
Interesting. That's pretty cool. So tell me a little bit more about kind of what other things you're going to be using. So you mentioned dashes, you mentioned slashes can be used, but I have to imagine grapple points might be a pretty good reference as well.
Absolutely. Grapple points are actually incredible ways to get both to an exact position because you grapple, you go to where the grapple is, but also a very consistent angle because it will sort of snap your camera to facing at the grapple point. So
Nice.
it's kind of a 2-for-1 there. Super consistent.
Yeah, it's great as opposed to having to swing your mouse around and then who knows where you're aiming. So
Totally.
we've been talking about the movement, but obviously what everybody else remembers about Sekiro being very difficult are the bosses. For you, when you're doing it blindfolded, is one more difficult than the other? Are there just kind of spots where each one is the highlight for you? How does that compare?
Yeah, so I would say movement was harder to come up with strategies for. I think in terms of routing the run, probably it was like 75% on the movement. But now that I have it routed out, I would say that it is primarily the bosses that end up being difficult, where the bosses, things can go wrong. I can die and all of this. The movement, I can just try again without much problem.
I don't know what happened. I think I had an internet blip right there. J-Hop's back with you guys, everyone. Mitch, so yeah, no, I 100% agree with everything you've been saying. I've been loving the run of this interview so far. So I want to ask you, so you did just talk about the skips and everything. Obviously, let's talk a little bit about a category that maybe potentially you could do in the future. It doesn't have as many skips going on in it. Do you see yourself eventually pursuing other categories, all bosses, different endings, collecting other things? What are you thinking?
I could see that happening in the future. I don't see that happening necessarily too soon because that's more than double the work of
Sure.
what I've already done. Especially, there's a few points in the run, especially where you would have to swim that are just really hard to normalize.
Yes.
Because the swimming, the camera doesn't stay. It's now in 3D space instead of 2D. It's a nightmare.
Yeah, I can't. I'm just imagining day one of you saying, okay, let's figure out just how it's not about any of the bosses. We could take out any of them easily in Sekiro. It's how do I get this underwater chest with a bead in it? There's no way possible.
Yeah,
Awesome stuff to hear, Mitch. Do you see yourself working on any other games potentially blindfold in the future? What is the future you think just in general for challenge runs for you?
I could definitely see myself doing other Dark Souls or Souls-like games blindfolded. Maybe that new Elden Ring that's coming out in about a month. We could see that. I'd like to, but apparently it's a huge game. So we'll see if that's even reasonable. But I would love to do that in the future if it's possible.
Absolutely. Well, Mitch, I am looking forward to all of your future endeavors here in speedrunning and challenge runs. And I am big looking forward. As I said at the beginning of this interview, I am J-Hobbs, and I am excited to watch Sekiro Shadows Die Twice get through the entire thing blindfolded by Mitch. It's going to be hype, everyone. You're going to want to put this up on the fridge and remember it forever. Everyone have a good day. Enjoy more AGDQ 2022. We're kicking it back up to the front for some fallen blocks. Let's do some Tetris.
Thank you so much to J-Hobbs and J-Hobbs alone for that interview. Y'all, while that interview was going on, and time was sort of dilated there, we are now at $42,000, almost $42,000 of the $75,000 we need to get Tetris the Grandmaster 20G mode. That's max speed. These are the fastest falling blocks you've ever seen in your life. There's never been any faster blocks. It's just how it works. So Y'all get those donations in. We're going to do it. I believe in you. For just a moment, though, we'll be right back. Let's go away. AGDQ, let's go away. AGDQ 2022 online, powered by Twitch. We are back, everybody. Thank you so much for hanging out here with us, for seeing some hot speed runs, and for getting your donations in to the Prevent Cancer Foundation. Y'all, I'm not entirely sure what we're in for here, but apparently we have got a prize segment with Scent and, I'm reading this correctly, Company? All right, take it away.
Well, Scent, I made it, despite your directions.
Ah, Superintendent Uyama. I hope you're ready for an unforgettable prize segment. Oh, and thank you so much for bringing this Tetris Trivet sent to us by Meredith Frederick, $25 minimum donation. Ah! The gods, my prize is ruined! But what if I were to take that prize and present it as my own? Delightfully devilish, Scent. Scent! Superintendent Uyama, sir. I was just showing off this lovely Link amigurumi we have, $15 minimum donation from Mr. Ed Nigma on our windowsill here. Absolutely lovely for the lighting. Would you care to join me?
Why is there smoke coming out of your office?
Smoke? Oh no, that's not smoke. That's steam. Steam from the lovely steamed Perlers we're having later. $10 minimum donation from Pearl Pop. Absolutely beautiful. All right, Superintendent Uyama, I hope you're ready for an unforgettable prize segment.
I thought we were showing steamed Perlers.
No, I said memed Perlers. That's what I call prizes.
You call prizes memed Perlers.
Yeah, it's a regional dialect from Northern Virginia.
I'm from Arlington, and I've never heard that expression before.
Oh, no. They wouldn't say that kind of thing in Arlington. It's a Springfield kind of dialect.
It looks awfully similar to the Surfing Pikachu blanket by Serenity Black. $25 minimum donation.
What? This? No. This is a one-of-a-kind old prize man family recipe, of course.
Well, these meme Perlers looks exactly like the Link's Awakening laser cut cartridge holder by Joe. $25 minimum donation.
Well, you see, Uyama, please excuse me for a minute. Oh, well, that certainly was a good prize segment. I'm pooped.
Yes, well, I should be. Good Lord, what is going on in there?
Fun.
Fun. In this marathon, at this time of year, in this part of the marathon, in this office, localized entirely within that room?
Yes.
Can I join?
No.
Sent! The prizes are on fire!
Oh, no, Shout. That's just a party.
Well, Sent, I must say, you are an odd prize coordinator, but you meme a good Perler. Help!
Welcome back to AGDQ 2022 online powered by Twitch. That I think that may have been the best acting I have seen on any one of these great skits that we've had on any GDQ ever. Thank you so much for telling us about all those fantastic prizes. We've got some donations coming in, and a lot of them are coming in for that Tetris the Grandmaster 20G mode. We're at $46,000 and 983, almost 47K out of 75K needed to meet that max speed incentive. So if y'all could get those donations in, I know we can do it. We've got $1,000 from Kenners, who just says in all caps, max speed Tetris. I agree with the all caps. We've got $25 from Jack, who says, let's see that 20G. $25 from Sir Brosif. In the home stretch of AGDQ, so let's continue the last stretch for donations. Here's my contribution to the Tetris Grandmaster Max Speed Incentive. Thank you very much. We've got $100 from Suraya, who says, when I heard Cardi B share his childhood dream with us, I knew I couldn't let him down. Let's get that 3 million. You know, earlier, I did share my dream of meeting 3 million, and I believe we'll meet that. We will get $3 million for the Prevent Cancer Foundation. But my dream has changed, and now I would like to get Tetris the Grandmaster, please. So we are now at, wait, what happened? What happened? We did it. We did it. We've got $87,000 out of the incentive needed. Y'all, we're going to see the fastest Tetris blocks you've ever seen. Ever in your life. Y'all, I need you. I can't thank you enough. I can't thank you enough. You did it. You did it. Thank y'all so much for all of your donations. But that's not all. We've got other incentives to meet. This ain't over because we've still got to unlock Deltarune. We've still got to see that later tonight. You want to see Deltarune. I want to see Deltarune. We got to see it. So let's do it. We're at 126K out of the 500K needed for that. Let's go, chat. You're the best. You're the cutest. You're the most amazing chat I've ever seen on this entire planet. Give yourself a round of applause. Let me read some more donations. Oh my gosh. We've got, wait, I think I know what happened. Y'all. let me stretch out for this one. We have a $40,000 donation from Twitch. They say nothing. There is no comment. They just dropped that and dropped the mic and left. Twitch, thank you so much. That's incredible, y'all. You know that AGDQ 2022 is powered by Twitch. I know it is. You're watching on Twitch right now. Thank you so much. That's what we needed. That's what we needed to get there. Thank you so much for your incredibly generous donation. Whew. Oh man, I'm tense now. This is good. This is good. We've got $25 from a small witch who just says, Daytona. Thank you so much, a small witch. We've got $50 from Ren Buck. I had to donate for the J-Hobbs quick change. Donning the black curly hair and new outfit in less than 10 seconds is the kind of speedrunning you can only find at AGDQ. I think that might be a world record, yeah. We've got $5. Hype train for Tetris. Choo-choo! Y'all, Tetris is coming up. You're going to see it. It's going to be incredible. Get on that train. Get those donations in. We can reach 3 million during Tetris. I think we could. Now that I've had a second to collect myself, y'all, this is actually the end of the road for your best friend. Yes, I am afraid my time as your host is over. I know. Don't be sad. Look at what we've done together. We've raised so much money for such a great cause. We've unlocked so many incentives. Chat, I want you to never forget that you're wonderful, you're cute, and I love you. But now I leave you in the capable hands of a halcyon host, a picturesque prize man, a graceful game master, and above all, just a real great dad. Y'all be good for Mr. Game and Shout and get that 3 million. I'm gonna see you around, friends. Remember to make good jumps. Bye, everybody.
Cardi B, you're not allowed to make me cry right before I start. That was, dude, we don't deserve you. Thank you so much, Cartridge Blowers. What is up, everybody? I am Mr. Game and Shout, and I'm so excited to be back again on the hosting desk, heading into the backstretch of AGDQ 2022 online, powered by Twitch, just like this TGM run. We're going to see 20G. I thought this was going to be fast enough on its own, but no. Now we have, like, ridiculous amounts of gravity. It's a TGM run already. Like, this was already going to be unheard of. And now it's going to be even better. I'm not going to be able to keep up. I haven't been able to keep up all week. I need like a time portal to watch all of these runs twice. It's absolutely amazing. Y'all are absolutely amazing. We are up to $2,337,455, and it just keeps climbing. It just keeps going. Keep it going. Y'all are so amazing. This is so cool. All right, I'm going to work on some donations here while we're working on the setup for that run. Let's see. What do we got? Let's take this $250 donation from 115. Love me some TGM. Friend, you are going to get some TGM. Kiefer Skunk sends in $20. People who speedrun Tetris are amazing, and Tetris the Grandmaster is probably the most amazing version of Tetris to try to speedrun ever. You, sir, are amazing, and you are a tribute to Tetris mastery. Save the frames and save lives.